Hello everyone, this is Pastor Lon out of Homestead and Pastor. My wife Robbie Lynn. I want to welcome all of you. That's our son Corey coming in the driveway. Our little dinger's going off. But I want to welcome all of you tonight for our next episode of Come Sit a Spell. And I hope it's a blessing unto you. We want to talk a little bit tonight about something that I see a big, it's a concern to me and Robbie Lynn, and probably concern a lot of people. And we're not here to, you want to slide this way a little bit, you almost off the camera, sweet.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about something, what's lost when we lose an old timer or an older person. And, you know, I kind of got thinking about this when now, I remember I used to say my prayers at night. I prayed for my grandparents, all four of them. We had them all when we got married, except for your grandmother on your mama's side. Mm-hmm. We had all of our grandparents were living except one when we got married, and now we have none of them. All of them's passed away, and not just with our grandparents, and my mama's passed away since then, back in 2015, and a lot of aunts and uncles, and Robbie's side too. And you probably have experienced a lot of loss in your family. But some of the things that I want to talk about tonight that really concern me as a nation, as in the culture of our nation as well as around the world, is what's lost when we lose an old timer or older person. And two of the main things that I feel like we're losing in this country the most is wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge, both are lost when you lose somebody that's had any age on them at all, whether it be a parent, a grandparent, a great-grandparent, aunts or uncles or whatever. So just want to kind of shed a little light on that tonight, and that's going to continue to be lost unless it's passed down from one generation to the next. And probably for, all my life, a lot of that stuff has been passed down to me from my parents and grandparents, to Robbie Lynn from her parents and grandparents. And a couple of things we want to talk about tonight go along with knowledge and wisdom. Realize that knowledge is knowing what to do in a situation, whether it's a life crisis, whether it's planting a garden, working on a car, as you said, cooking in the kitchen, baking, whatever the case may be, working on a car, changing oil in the car, far as that goes, and operating a chainsaw, sharpening a chainsaw, sharpening a knife, as far as I'm concerned, teaching me how to handle a firearm, clean a deer, or bait your hook, tie a hook on, all those things like that I was taught as a young boy. And some of the things that you were taught in the kitchen, probably from your mama, were things like cooking biscuits.
Well, like I said, they can give you the recipe and tell you how to do it all day long, but unless you watch them, it's not the same, as because they have the own little different ways of doing things. And if you stand there and watch them do it, you gain more, understanding of how it's done and how they done it. If you want it to taste close to what they, how they cooked it, then it's better to watch them do it and see what they, hands-on experience rather than reading about it, because they might forget to put an ingredient on the recipe or anything like that. And if you watch them do it, you get a lot more out of it.
So like I said, knowledge of knowing what to do and how to do something, whether it's cooking or baking or whatever. And also, but then the difference in the knowledge and the wisdom is knowing how to do what you got the knowledge to do.
Or acting on it.
Or acting upon it. Well, there's a lot of people that I knew have not a lot of knowledge about stuff, or they don't have the wisdom of how to use it or how to handle it. And that's probably in every family and every generation. But some of the things that we lose when we lose old timers, along with knowledge and wisdom, is experience. Experience, because they've been there and done that. A lot of them were raised up hard and come up rough, had to work for a living, worked in mills and factories and steel mills, lumber companies, sawmills, stuff like hard work. And that was their way of life. They knew they had to work. The Bible says, man, don't work, you shouldn't eat. But the Bible, they knew that was going to adhere to what the Bible said, and they got experienced by the work
Well,
that
back
they
then,
performed.
if you didn't work, you didn't eat.
This is true, whether it be on a job or in the garden. While we're on work, we'll skip over this one. While we're on work, that goes along with experiences, hard work and work ethic. You know, back when I was growing up, and Robbie too, somebody that wouldn't work, you know, that's why like the Bible talking about an infidel that won't provide for his own family. The Bible's pretty plain on all this stuff that we want to talk about tonight, about work ethic and we're leading up to something we're going to talk about a little bit further into this video about losing all this stuff. We've seen it over the years, and now we're reaping the harvest, or reaping what we've sown into our culture and generation. And let me tell you something right here. We're not here to bash the younger generation. I mean, we love them. We try to help them all we can. But so many children today are not raised, one, in a godly home, and many children today are not raised in a home that has the mom and the dad in the home, unfortunately. So, that being said, morals are out of the window because of the fact that they're not being taught right. But what I want to say is, we're talking about a younger generation. Yeah, the culture's changed, but also, we were talking earlier before we started this video, that's unfortunate now, that's not just with the older generation, I mean with the younger generation, it's the older generation as well. A lot of those that's been around my age or older, some of those people don't want to work anymore.
They're so spoiled and entitled, they think just because somebody's handed, they go to the, well, they don't even have to go to the mailbox to get it anymore, it's automatically
That's just
deposited.
true.
You know, that it's just gimme, 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 and they don't have to work for anything.
But work ethic, experience, and morals are really in jeopardy, or in it's in a bad way right now. And we're not sharing this video as a doom and gloom. We just wanted to talk about it and maybe you know, help somebody that may watch it to realize, you know, anything worth having is worth working for.
And if you got an elderly person in your life, glean everything you can out of them.
Next
You know,
point, that's right.
Learn all you can from them before it's taken away.
And there's so many different things that they teach you, and I see people all the time talking about because Granny was here, or Nana was here, or Grandpa, whoever, whether it was teaching you how to work on something, or Granny teaching you how to cook or sew, or help me out.
Like I wish I'd have got some of your Nana's recipes that we liked, and I didn't while she was living, or either watched her do it while she was living, like that macaroni pie you used to like.
Oh man, she was good business.
She called it macaroni pie because she made it like in a I don't know, like a casserole did, not a casserole. It wasn't that long, as it was like a
kind of a round. You probably got one.
like almost like a mixing bowl. She would make it in. But nobody else, I don't think, got that recipe from her.
And then that cake she made,
Orange.
you can about do that.
I don't know if that, I did get a little thing of her recipes, and I found that one in there. I think that's what it
Which
was.
those were handed down to my mama, and my mama handed them down to you. Is that right? In that little can.
That's a
But
little tin.
that orange cake's like
I'll see if I can find it right
that
there.
orange cake's like a pound cake with what's that stuff you?
Like frozen orange juice.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't know if that's the name of it, what she called it, but man, that was really
She
good.
called it an orange cake. I
She
think.
did, but she made that every Christmas. And that's another thing, Christmas time, when my granny passed away, Christmas was never the same for us.
This is, I don't know if you can see it. It was a little tea can. Did you put tea in?
And then take that top off and show them kind of what's in there.
And that's what she stuffed.
She just stuffed them in there. She didn't
Something
keep them
wrong with her
in.
recipe.
She didn't keep them in a book or not anything like that. She just stuck them in
And then
there.
I've got some of here letters from some of her people.
Yeah, where they didn't have cell phones and computers, they actually wrote letters, and I can
I mean,
remember.
this is something, Lon can look at her handwriting,
Yeah.
you know, and see all different kinds of
But
letters.
we're Robbie and I are old school, like a lot of people I see commenting on here, and we love sentimental things like this right here. Mean a lot to us. But again, to the culture we living in today, and a lot of the generation today, not all the younger generation are like this, but majority of them are. But it may have been, you know, like my grandpa. No, see, that'd be my great grandpa. He used to play music a lot, and I wish I'd have learned a little bit of that from him, but I didn't. I was too busy out deer hunting and fishing and doing those things, which I learned to do that. But I wish I knew how to play an instrument, but I don't. About the only thing I can play is the radio. But anyway, what else we experienced?
As far as the work ethic, I mean, when you work for something, you value that thing that you work for. If somebody gives it to you, it don't mean as much and don't have as much value to you. I've been working ever since I was probably a senior in high school. And I know, I mean,
At the same job.
same job. I never have it one job in my life.
Never had one job for 32 years, a medical transcriptionist. And
And you worked in tobacco fields and all.
yeah, I remember when I was in the summertime, was out of school, we worked, put in tobacco and stuff for Bingo and them, and some farmers around here. We used to walk down the roads and pull the red weeds out of the field, out of the soybean
Yeah,
field.
now they poison.
Now they poison everything, poisoning us. But I used to remember waiting to see him. He'd come around with that little envelope with $125 in it or something, and I thought I was rich.
I
but-
paid $3.35.
Yeah, well, when she and I got married together, we made less than $8 an hour. I made $4.67. She made $3 and something. Less than $8 an hour together. That was in 1987. So
And we had everything we needed.
we had everything we needed. We're still, as far as marriage, we're still very happily married, but we probably were, just as happy then as we are now as far as what we have, because it's a proven fact you will live up most of the time to your means, or to your income. But anyway, I don't want to get off on that. We'll stay on course here with what we want to talk about losing old timers and losing grandparents. We're losing a lot more than just their bodies and their presence. We're losing knowledge, wisdom, experience, morals, work ethic, hard work, and also a big one here is common sense. But another thing, speaking of common sense, and while we're talking about this, the devil's been fighting us. I think I told you last time on this. Come sit a spell for whatever reason. We have all kinds of trouble, and we switched cameras and everything, but we got some advice from another YouTuber, and we're trying to upgrade as much as we can. But y'all just bear with us if while we have technical difficulties. But common sense, it's amazing to me the lack of common sense in this country and in this world today. Not just from your younger generation, from so many people today. Common sense. My granddaddy had a 3rd grade education, and he succeeded in life. I mean, he as he used to say, he fended for his family, or he supplied their need.
He couldn't read, but yeah, he could go.
He could go all over the towns around here and deliver parts, pick up parts. He worked on heavy equipment at the sawmill. But I would rather have common sense than all the book sense in the world.
Seems like the more knowledge they gain, book-wise, book sense, the
Well, we've gotten too smart for our own good now.
less common sense.
Unfortunately, we've gotten too smart for our own good. But speaking about common sense, and so we jotted down a few more things about when we were in school. They offered stuff like that right there.
Home ec.
Home ec.
They taught you how to cook and sew. The ladies how to cook and sew, and the men how to change oil and
Yep, work on small engines.
enough to get you by in life.
Well, life skills,
Yeah.
stuff that you need to succeed in life and take care of your family.
Now
Now-
they come out of high school, they don't know how to write in cursive. They don't teach spelling anymore in grammar school around here.
They don't teach them how to,
No.
that's in public school. They don't teach them how to balance a checkbook. None of that. I just don't understand what I do. Let me back up. I do know where this is headed. I do know it's headed to a place where they don't want them to be independent and self-sustainable. They want them to rely on the big G. I'll put it that way. They want them to be in bondage.
That ain't God.
That big G's not God Almighty. But unfortunately, that's what's happening in this country today. And every time we lose an old timer, she said it a while ago. That's so true. If you got an old timer in your life now, you need to learn all you can. Ask questions. There are questions right now I wish I'd have asked my grandparents when I had them here with me, or even my mama when I had her here with me. And Robbie's family the same way. Because if you don't get it now and it's not handed down, you're gonna lose it. And there are lots of things that are being lost as the time rocks on, and the culture has changed. God's still the same, the Bible's still the same, but the culture has changed. And I've seen people that I know family, friends, and co-workers do things that I never thought they would do. Stoop to a level I never thought they would stoop to. I won't get into any details with that, but we're living in a very decaying society today, which lets me know that Jesus Christ is soon to come back. So that's kind of what we want to talk about, mainly with losing these old timers, and you lose so much value that people don't even realize. I've had people say, you know, well, my granddaddy, they'd say something, the granddaddy would say something to them about whether it was drinking or smoking or drugs or whatever that they may have gotten tangled up in years back, and they would say, well, he's talking to me about it, he used to do it. And I always encourage them, that's the very person that you need to be listening to, because they've already been down that road. They've already can tell you what it's going to cost you. They're going to tell you the regrets they have. So why not listen to them? And hopefully they'll try to steer you in the right direction. So old timers, man, we miss them every day. And as time goes on, we're slowly losing them. And the culture and the generations are changing.
And we need to not.
We need to preserve that.
And we need to hand our, what we've learned from them down to, well, my kids, my two boys don't want to learn how to cook, and I can't teach Michaela, so I got,
And Bradley.
I was making biscuits one day at Mama's house, Nanny's house, we call her Nanny, and my little niece and nephew, 7 and 11, something like that. Well, they wanted to get in on it, and of course that's another problem. We're always too big of a hurry to teach them. And I could have said, no, I don't want to make a mess. I don't want you messing in this, but I took the time to let them do their own little batch of biscuits.
And they were very happy doing it.
It excited them. They want to learn. So if you got any younger generation that wants to learn, teach them.
Yeah, take the time. That's exactly right. Take the time, because somebody took the time for us. I remember many times laying up under that car changing that oil with my granddaddy Lawrence, and now I can
That's
do
the
it.
big problem. Nobody wants to take the time to teach the children. They'd rather just do it themselves and get it over with.
I mean, he would teach. He taught me how to split wood, sharpen a chainsaw, sharpen a knife, a lot of that stuff. And my daddy taught me a lot of stuff too, but he taught me more about hunting and fishing and that type of stuff, camping and stuff. But my granddaddy taught me more of the life skills that I have today. Running that one-row mule, that plow in the garden, how to plant the garden, how to lay it by, as he called it, put the fertilizer underneath, all that kind of stuff. But I just want to encourage you, if you got any older folks, whether your parents still here, grandparents or aunts and uncles with any age on them, but always had experience and good work ethic and common sense, you need to listen to them.
And if you got younger generation, teach them.
And try to pass it down. Because if you don't, we're going to end up even worse. Sometimes I don't see how it could get any worse, but there's something that we wanted to throw in here to where we're headed somewhere with this. Customer service in this country is at an all-time low. Whether you believe that or not, I see it every single day.
No matter where you go.
No, it don't matter if we're in Darlington, Hartsville, South Carolina, or we travel up to somewhere in North Carolina, or if we travel to Tennessee, or wherever you go, down at the beach. There's customer service is just almost a thing of the past anymore. Because, I mean, I was thinking about, I wrote down here that it's almost obsolete. Professionalism, they don't practice that anymore. They don't have any of the good pride in themselves. Like I said, they don't have any pride in their work. They don't have any pride in their appearance or respect. A lot of people, if somebody's gonna have respect for themselves, they're not gonna have respect for anybody else. And that's taught from home at an early age. Prime example of that is I didn't say anything, and I should have probably, I think about it now, but I went to Lowe's a while back, in one of the Lowe's here in our local area, and there were two younger guys. They were in there real young. I'd seen them in there before, and they were over there, they complaining about doing this, complaining about that, and there was an older guy, and I ended up finding out after I went outside he was 56 years old, and he's already, he was there, he got him a job with him, helping, whatever they needed help with. But why he wasn't doing his regular job, like stocking the shelves or helping the customers inside the building, if it was kind of slow, he would be outside sweeping the floor, up under the carport, garage part there of Lowe's, and those guys were standing there, and I was waiting to be checked out, and both those guys were making fun of the older guy, said, he's crazy, and they used a few choice words, he's crazy for doing that, said, that ain't my job, I'm not doing it. That's the mentality that too many people got there. That's not my job, I'm doing it, he's crazy. And I went out and started talking to the guy, and I told him, I said, I heard those young boys, man, you ain't got to tell me anything. So I hear them all the time, they'll hide in the corner and try to get away from work. He said, but I was raised, I can't stand around and watch something that needs to be swept up and not sweep it up. I can't stand around and see something needs to be done and not do it. And that's the difference in the way he was raised. He was raised by older folk that knew that had a good work ethic and good morals about them, common sense, and took pride in what they do. But the day we're living in today, customer service, but I was gonna say the utility company I work for, we've been bought out since then. The slogan's not in the office like it used to be, but we try to still give good customer service. But I remember that sign, they had a banner in every office in this utility company. It said the customer's number one, and that's the bottom line. They had a line drawn under the customer's name. Customer's number one, and that's the bottom line. And we're not living in that. We're not living in that culture anymore. Anything you want to say about customer service? We see it all the time.
They don't care. They don't care if you're a customer or not.
My granddad used to.
They don't care if you spend your money at their establishment. They don't.
Well, they don't take ownership in it. They just work in there for a paycheck, you know.
And now they don't want to do that since they're getting freebies handed out left and right. The businesses are closing left and right. They can't. But
anywhere you look, you see signs up hiring, whatever the job may be. I don't know if you better tell it when we edited it, but we just had another glitch in our come set a spell.
And the camera keeps going further.
Yeah, well, you got that thing moving on around. We got to talk fast before we lose it again. But anyway, you can tell we're not professionals at this, but we hope we're getting a little better. But can't remember sure the last thing I said, but mainly it was about customer service being out of the window, and you know, they don't take ownership in working for the people they work for. They're just there for a paycheck, and that makes all the difference in the world. So that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. Was, you know, it bothers me that I don't like the America that I live in today. I mean, I'm thankful for my family, my job, and I love the Lord, and all. You know, we love preaching the gospel, sharing the word, and all that's great. But I don't like this culture we're living in today because it's nothing like what I was raised up in. And it's just the lack of respect that people have for themselves and other people. It just blows my mind.
They have no self-pride.
A lot of the businesses you go to now, a lot of them had to close around here because of the fact that they don't, you know, can't get anybody to work because they're giving them extra unemployment now, and they're giving them all these stimulus checks and stuff like that. You know, somebody's got to pay for that. Somebody's got to pay the piper sooner or later. So just wanted to share that and encourage you, mainly if you got any old timers in your life, learn all you can from them, and try to train your children and your grandchildren to have more of a work ethic, to do what's right, and have some good self-pride in themselves, their appearance, and their work and life in general. Anything else, Robert Lynn? A lot more we could talk about.
While we're on respect, I had an episode this past week. I mean, there's a few channels, big channels on here that have a lot of subscribers, and I mean, we don't have that many subscribers, and we feel like we're, you know, the least. But some of them that I would ask a question or comment, I mean, and they'll just right back at you. They'll answer your question. They'll heart you or give you a comment, anything.
Or like it.
There's a few of them that'll do that, but then there was a couple that I asked a question. I really wanted to know the answer. You know, it was on their video, and I wanted to know what a question about what they were doing, and I never got a reply or heart or anything. And I told Lon, I said that upsets me. I'm thinking about unsubscribing. I said, because while they were little, they want your views, you know, they want you to subscribe. They'll answer your questions and heart you and everything, but when they get big, they don't have time or to you know, don't take the time to answer a simple question. And I know they've got a lot of, you know, viewers or a lot of subscribers, but still, I mean, their subscribers are who's got them where they are now. And I think it's a lack of respect not to answer your subscribers when they ask you a question.
That goes back to the old timers. They always told us, don't forget where you came from.
That's right.
And don't forget who helped get you there. And we're not whining and complaining about this. It just bothers me.
Really, it hurt my feelings. Really.
Yeah, but I try to, on my channel, and I'm gonna try to do that. If we stay where we at, if we hold up right here, that's fine. We're reaching the people that we're reaching. Hey, I'm good with that.
Well, some of them that answer me have way more, you know, subscribers than these people do, and they still answer me. So I mean,
True.
and it excited me when the ones that had the bigger channels would, you know, reply back to me. I sent a what you call it, screenshot the comment and sent it along, like, you know, look who's responding to me or whatever. But
Well,
it just makes you feel good that they acknowledge you at least.
yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of smaller channels that, a lot of those that respond back, you know, comment, watch our videos and comment, or if we comment on theirs, they comment back, and we really appreciate that. And there's a lot of those, but the bigger ones, you know, and you said something about not calling those names, but we wrote down 4 of the top ones that always answer us back, and always, at least if it's nothing but a thumbs up, like our comment, hearted our comment, or even commented back.
They go an extra mile for you.
Yeah, and these are like the rest of them. We feel like we know a lot of these personally because we watch them a lot and they respond back to us a lot.
And that's what I'm saying. If I take my time out to watch your video and I got a question about that video, then I feel like, you know, you owe me enough respect to answer my question. If you don't, then I don't have time to watch your video, really. You know,
Right.
I can go on to somebody else's.
That goes back to doing those you have been doing to you. That's why I try to answer all of my comments back in some way or another, like these big channels do. But also, not just other channels that respond back, but I thank the Lord every day for all the individuals out there that have subscribed to our channel. You may not even have a channel, but man, some of you on here, and I can't call all of you's name for the world, but some of it, I know you're gonna respond. I know you're gonna watch the video. I know you're gonna give a comment, and that really means a lot to me. I really, y'all don't know what that does. Robbie can tell you. I mean, when I get comments back, feedback, that does a lot. From anybody, individuals or small channels or big channels. And man, we got so many smaller channels that look out for us. I would leave some of those out for sure, but we just wanted to kind of, you know, bring this to light that we appreciate these channels for those that have channels and got these big channels that respond back to our comments. Just like I hope y'all appreciate when we respond back to your comment as an individual. I had a lot of prayer requests on here, and I pray for you. I might not know all your family members by name. Some of you, I know your name on here, but I'll cover it all, and all of my subscribers, YouTube family, big channels, small channels, individuals, it don't matter. So just wanted to share this with you tonight about losing the old timers, the wisdom and the knowledge that we lose when we're losing them, as well as the customer service is the result of losing the old timers and not the younger generation not being taught right. And just give a shout out to these bigger channels that have really helped us along the way, as well as the smaller channels. So that all we got, Ronnie? This video has messed up 4 times. She's got the time all together and trying to make one video, so y'all be praying it goes well. Appreciate you stopping by for our Come Sit a Spell tonight. Hope it's a blessing to you. Hope you can rate some of this stuff we talked about. And until next time, remember, Jesus Christ loves you, and Jesus Christ is the answer for any and everything you're dealing with in life. God bless you.